And then it gets quiet.
Yep.
Speaking of the devil.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, this is Radcliffe. Okay. They're supposed to look the same, right? It's just the way they word it there. You don't need a special one? Okay. The way it was worded, it made it seem like it was going to be different. Okay, just checking. I understand. I'm just making sure. Like, you shall not pass.
Michelle can come to graduation.
Well, the way it's worded, it looks like it's going to be a different type of ticket. But it's not supposed to.
Yeah.
I was just checking.
There's the graduation ticket for you in your mailbox.
I haven't opened mine because I figure if I open it, I might lose it. Just saying.
Luckily, it's a sticky. I'm gonna put mine back in.
It is a stick.
Your sticky still works? Yeah.
Who is our HR specialist right now? The house that she started too is still going. So they haven't gotten yet. Good.
I love it. I love the hiring.
Eva
got
went
announced
to
today,
a company farm last week. He works.
Saw your big event.
Oh yeah,
it looked great.
I got the full 10 minutes with Gustav, giving him a tour and talking for a few minutes.
Very
Kinda
cool. Yeah.
And then I got to drive my president to the airport in Bolivar because he's flew the UT jet in. It was cool.
It's cool.
But she works.
It's off my to-do list. I just did it.
You feel it.
What was fresh in my mind?
DCS. And so
It's exciting.
that's to see.
Right.
Dog stress. Outside.
Because I guess you came to something that talked about what CASA does.
Oh, honestly, if he's at the state level, he might be allowed. Is he from Nashville?
No, he's Memphis.
Well, to
Yeah, I'm
be
not
fair, I
sorry.
might not know where he's from, but when I was at the date
Process
of
of
the
being
bill, I did like a couple of state races.
We're half done. It's
No,
a multi-year
he
progress.
was Memphis.
I got a few more years.
He worked
I
in
understand
Memphis.
his need, I don't know what they're replacing him, but he just was there.
Basically a big, it's not a big front yard, but basically it's just a bunch of natives.
Antonio
We just planted a bunch of stuff this weekend. We got the plant sale Friday.
It may have been,
We're about half done.
I met a lot of people that day.
originally from North Carolina.
Getting rid of the old grasses.
Hey, all that stuff.
It's really hard.
Cool.
The middle spot we not like it is more people went in this direction. Of course, I'm really not replacing the grasses.
They call our grass.
Exactly.
It's green. But yeah, you're right, it's hard to get rid of because our front lawn and back lawn is just tore up from all the construction. Yeah, he's coming in and just tearing it up when it was wet.
Construction.
We added on to our house. It's for my mother-in-law.
Oh, really?
But it's growing bad, even though it's hidden. But again, it's weeds, it's not really grass.
All right, I have 5:45. I will call the meeting to order. If everyone would stand for the moment of silence and the pledge. You'd face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Recorder, if you call the roll.
Chair Laura Harrison,
Present.
Vice Chair Jeremy Burnett,
Here.
Michelle Childs,
Here. Keith Acton.
Here.
Deborah Thomas. We do have a quorum. I would like to welcome everyone to our April business meeting. Dr. Horrell, would you mind leading us through our agenda?
Not at all. The first item on the agenda is the opportunity for public comment.
Do we have anyone from the public that would like to speak? Hearing none, next item.
Next item is the report section, starting with my report. And as we do so often, I'm very, very honored and excited to be able to honor some of our students and their directors who have done outstanding things. And if the board is okay with this, I will take the rest of the presentation down from the platform. Let me reset the camera view here. All right, so as I've noted many times, and we do have some repeat customers, I'm finding with some of these music recognitions, we tend to have some of the same faces, but we also have some exciting new faces and some folks that have done some exciting new things, and we have at least one person who's done something unprecedented, so we will bring that up as well, certainly. But the first group that we are going to... Well, actually, the first one is just an individual that I'm going to honor, and I'm not sure if she's here, but is Zoanne Coleman here? Oh, it is. There you are. Come on up, Zoanne. Congratulations. Now, let me tell you what she did. I kind of did this out of order. So Zoanne was the first student, this is our first student in Lakeland history also, that has gone on to represent Lakeland Preparatory School at the HOSA State Leadership Conference. So, and let me note, there's no sense in sugarcoating it. She did this under some challenging circumstances in terms of the teacher in the classroom, had a little turnover, but really wanted to go and take advantage of this opportunity. And I appreciate her pushing through and making that happen. And I also want to note Chad Uhiren accompanied her and made sure that happened. And then there was one other person that went, is that right? Ms. Jackson, Ashley Jackson. So we are grateful to you for earning the right to do that. And if you'll walk over here, we want to get your picture and make sure we recognize that. So just step on over here. Dr. Veloso. You can hold this. You're in the spot. Yeah. No. Rotate this way. There you go. That's better. Thank you so much. Great. Awesome. All right. All right, we have another first in school history, and this is the first student who has ever qualified for the TMEA All-State Orchestra. And this is an exciting milestone for the school as well, so we want to congratulate Brooklyn Norris. Come on down, Brooklyn. Obviously proud of all our musicians, but thank you for cracking this open for us. We hope to send lots more students to All-State for Orchestra, but if you'll come over here and get your picture taken too. All right, there will be some familiar faces here, as I promised, but this is a group of students that qualified for the TMEA. That's Tennessee Music Educators Association. Did I get it? Yes. You're supposed to clap for me now. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. No. That is the All-State Choir. We're going to do the choir next. So what we want to do, if you will hold your applause, I'm going to call the students' names. They're going to come up, get their certificates, and then we'll give them all a big round of applause. And students, when you come up, just go ahead and ease on over here, and we'll do one big big photo. Now, this was, I think, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, I think this was our first student that ever qualified for the All-State Choir, and I think maybe she's done it twice more since then. Is it 3 times since then? So this is 4? Is that right?
This is my third.
This is your 3rd. Okay, all right. Naima Harper Bay, come on up. Oh, we're gonna, you can clap. That's fine. You can clap. That's okay. It's a small group. We can clap. Cora Coleman, come on down. Jacob Mans, come on. Everybody right? Everybody else's band. Yep, yep. Stars of the stage here as well. Great. And then finally, to round it up, we're representing in all 3 of these the TMEA All-State Band. And y'all go ahead and clap as they come down. Joshua Mans, we got a double header. Adam Atkinson, is he here? You can give him a round of applause. Probably playing soccer somewhere, probably. Rachel Forbes, I know you're here. Charlotte Smith, come on down. Now, practice this. Talat Kumas, not here? Okay, well, I don't know if there's anything out. All right. Y'all gather around. Great job. All right. And that concludes our recognitions for this evening. So we are, yeah, please, you do it one more time. We know and understand how much work it takes. We know how much collective work you put into it, but also the individual work that you musicians put into this. And I also want to acknowledge your parents, because there's a pretty good chance when you started singing or playing your instrument, you weren't all that great. Maybe not as good as you are now. And they listened to you as you worked through it, and now you are great, and it's amazing. So parents, thank you as well. So we're grateful. Thank you very much. And we're going to roll on with our meeting, but you won't hurt anybody's feelings if you would like to go ahead and go on for the rest of your evening. But you're welcome to stay always, so thank you. All right. Bye-bye. Thank y'all.
I'm scared.
Oh, I left my agenda.
All right, just making sure everybody else is staying for the meeting. All right. Dr. Horrell, when you get settled, I will let you take up the next item on the agenda.
All right, the next item on the agenda is the monthly financial summary, which you have before you on the agenda. Mr. Gately Sweat is here, as he always is. I managed to pull him away from budget preparation, which he's been working on really hard, but he'll step up here and go over anything you'd like or that he'd like.
Thank you, Dr.
Sweat,
Worrell.
thank you for being here.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening. The monthly finance report provides reconciled spending through the end of February 2026. That's the 8th month in the fiscal year. So we would generally expect spending to be around 67% of the budget at that time, or somewhere close to that. And that's kind of where we are at both most of the various areas as well as the aggregate for the general fund. A few, that are trending high or low that I just wanted to point out and have a little bit of an explanation for. We've got SPED at 56%, largely due to attrition and elevated budgeting based on some of the vacancies that we came into the year with. Vocational at 31%. So that's largely driven by a multi-year grant, Innovative School Models. So you basically drop the entire allocation for the lifespan of that grant into the budget this year, and we will be spending that not only the rest of this year, but next year as well. So it drives up that budget pretty considerably. So your annual execution as a percentage of your budget is a little lower, but we'll certainly see that start to trend up towards the end of the year. Technology at 72%. That's largely driven by some prepaid annual contracts. We pay for the entire year in July or August. So that's driven that 72%. Board of Education, prepaid liability insurance is the bulk of that function's budget as well. And so that's paid at this point in the year, as well as a $150,000 transfer to the OPEB fund that this board approved a couple of months ago. Transportation only at 50%, trending a little low. It's largely driven by 9 days of lower billing due to the inclement weather, the end of January, early February, as well as extended school year, which is budgeted in that function. That doesn't occur until June. That's a pretty big chunk of that transportation budget as well. And then obviously we're going to continue to monitor and ensure that other funding sources, such as our federal and state grants, we continue to stay on top of those and leverage those, but that's all I had.
Are there any questions regarding the monthly financial report? Hearing none, again, thank you for being here. We appreciate it, and we always appreciate your diligence and everything that you lay out before us. You do a great job. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, Madam Chair, if I might, as part of my extended report, I would also like to introduce somebody that was announced today. She's a familiar face to us and actually to anybody that's been hired in Lakeland School System for the last nearly 3 years, but we're very pleased to announce that Sarah Keith, who is currently our Human Resources Specialist, has been announced as our new Chief of HR, so she will be officially joining that side of the team, kind of joining my cabinet on July 1st. She'll be working in a chief-elect role until then and continuing to fulfill her role as the HR specialist. So, Ms. Keith, congratulations. We're glad to have you in this new role, and thank you for being here. So,
thank you for being here.
Yeah. I would like, Madam Chair, would it be acceptable to you to take the audit presentation out of order and do it as part of my report?
Yes, I have no objection. Does the board have any objection to that? Hearing none, we will take it out of order and go next.
I'm going to call up Clark if you want to update us on the audit. Introduce yourself. And
Good evening. Clark Province with the Watkins Uberall. Recognize pretty much everybody. Glad to be back here to present on the June 30, 2025 audit, which was issued, I want to say February 20th, somewhere around there. So part of the audit, just as a reminder, you are audited with the City of Lakeland. So the audit report can be, a little difficult to read sometimes if you're looking at everything combined. So I would kind of stick to, if you're ever looking at these numbers, to just stick to the funds that pertain to the school. As a whole, though, the audit went well. We did issue an unmodified opinion. That's a clean opinion. It's what you want on your audited financial statements. We also issue some opinions on the federal grant programs, which none of your federal grant programs were subject to compliance audit this year. And honestly, I don't see that it's probably going to happen anytime in the future. Unless you get a whole bunch of money in that you're not expecting. I don't ever see that happening unless we have another COVID situation. It's probably not going to happen again. One, because the city's just big. And your funding for some stuff has gone down over the years with the changes in the waivers from the Shelby County waiver. And two, the thresholds have gone up. So the one good thing the federal government has done for us is it's increased these thresholds, so we have to do less of them. So I don't see that happening in the future. We do also look at your internal controls. we don't look at them for what we call effectiveness. We look at the design and implementation of those controls. As a whole, they were implemented, designed well, and implemented well. We did have a couple of findings which we have discussed with finance, and those are just really the result of changes that occur in accounting, or just the transition this year, which we think we've got the kinks worked out on the one finding that we had. But all in all, nothing that you would be concerned about. When you're kind of looking at stuff from a budget to actual standpoint, everything was where it was needed to be. The findings I had wouldn't have concerned any of that, essentially. So are there any questions y'all want to ask me about the audit, or is there anything I can clarify?
Any questions?
Okay. There's normally not, but if you change your mind and you decide at midnight tonight and you think like I think and something occurs to you, you feel free to email me and I'll get back to you. But again, all in all, good audit, clean audit, which is what you want. And again, I was used to working with Jesse for a very long period of time, and now we are working with Tristan. Very nice transition. Everything seems to be working in order as it was. So congrats to Tristan for his first full audit on his own.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to note that. This is the first one he did solo, at least with us. So I want to thank Mr. Gately Sweat and his team for all the work that it takes to pull the materials together that Watkins Uberall and Clark's team requests. So I know it's a partnership, so thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Well.
All right. Thank you for being here, and thank you for, and if the board has any questions, certainly we can either add this to the agenda, or you can funnel questions through Dr. Horrell if there's any future discussion or items we need clarification on. Sound good? All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Clark. We appreciate you. We'll reach out if we need to. Thanks for being here. All right. The next item on the agenda is the legislative liaison update.
Okay. So we did not have the work session last week, so there's been quite a bit that's happened between March and April, so bear with me. I did send y'all some notes in case you want to follow along visually. Okay, first up, HB 349. This would have greatly impacted us because it was an open enrollment for out-of-district students and would have mandated space availability, which is different than our teacher ratios, and then would have denied guaranteed enrollment of children of non-teaching staff and city staff. But fortunately, that failed on March 24th in the Education Subcommittee. Next up is HB 1818, and as I don't know if all the public is aware, but school busing is actually not required by law. But this bill, which is it's up tomorrow in Finance, Ways and Means Subcommittee, is dictating what the zoning would be for a practice that's not required. And it would not affect us per se because our zone of proximity is 1.5 miles, which means that if you live 1.5 miles or closer to the school district, then you do not have to provide transportation. But some districts, not ours, but they do have a little bit further of a zone of proximity. And so they're debating if this is going to pass or not. It is, for those districts, it is an unfunded mandate and could affect us in the future if we were to look at changing that. It's just, it's kind of disappointing to have a bill for a practice that's not required by law. Okay, next up is HB 2422, and this is a pilot bill to reduce testing, and it is up tomorrow in the Finance, Ways and Means Subcommittee. Okay, this one just was, I watched it today, HB 1785. This is a bill that would allow students that attend private schools that have 200 or less students in grades 9 through 12 to have a choice if they want to try out for interscholastic athletics at their zone public school, or if they want to compete in their small private high school. I'm trying to get clarification because there was an amendment that would add grades 6 through 8 and also less than 200 students in middle school. And I think that part passed, but it was a little unclear to me, so I'll follow up on that. Let's see, HB 1888 is up tomorrow in House Finance Ways and Means Subcommittee. It is a waiver of an educator license without a bachelor's degree if they've taught at private school for 10 years experience. So teachers that started their career in public education would not have the same type waiver, but if a lot of private schools, they do not have the same mandates by the state, so they could hire individuals that just have a high school diploma, and if they worked there more than 10 years, then they could get a license to work at a public school. HB 1881. If you'll recall, before we had the Freedom Scholarships, also called vouchers, there was a precursor that was called an ESA. And this ESA vouchers were only for 3 school districts: Memphis, Shelby County Schools, Metro Nashville, and Hamilton County. Those were set up to be parents that made very low income and were part of low-performing schools, and TCAP exam had to be done. But due to all those requirements, there's been very low use of those vouchers. So this bill would remove the TCAP testing requirements, and it would also expand it to the next 2 largest counties, which is Knox and Rutherford, and also remove the requirement that it has to be low-performing schools. Part of the reason for this is the ESA is in the 4th year, and it's funded for 12,500 students this year and 15,000 next year, and it has less than 5,000 students, so this would be another way to get an extra $10,000 in vouchers next school year. Nope, sorry. Okay, so let me jump to the next one. So HB 401, I just want to give you all an update. That's for the preschool special education. We still do not have the study on that. And it was supposed to be done through the legislature, but we still don't have the information on what the actual fiscal note is. And because the fiscal note is going to be high, and right now there's more of an appetite for the Freedom Scholarship, so there's been no movement since 2025 on that one because the legislature, session is for 2 years. The next one is HB 1056, and this is another one that we had sponsored where state employees as well as our teachers are able to have their children get a 25% discount for college tuition at public universities. And that one is up tomorrow, the 15th, in the Finance, Ways and Means Subcommittee. It does have a $45 million fiscal note. And the other one I was going to mention is the infamous Freedom Scholarship bill that's up. It had not actually been heard before I came in here. It was on the House floor today, so I'm sure by tonight there'll be more information on that. But it has, right now, there was 2 different versions, and they're trying to decide if they're going to add, whether it be 20,000 or 15,000 scholarships. So, and both of them, it'll be another 155 million recurring bill if they are to add that, which does not leave a lot for other things. And that's the end of my report.
Any questions for Ms. Childs? Go ahead.
Ms. Childs, on the HB 2422, the 10 LEAs, are those already defined, or are those to be defined later?
I'm not sure what their criteria is on that. I don't know that they've defined it yet.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
So on the HB 2532, as it is on the House calendar at this point, read here that you said it will phase out the hold harmless for public schools in 2028. Is that a new provision before it originally had a hold harmless for the funding for public schools when the first set were initiated. So is that changing to where now?
Yes. And I'm sorry, I printed the wrong thing, so I was not looking at the right thing. Yes, that is, I meant to make that note, so thank you for asking that. Yes, that is a new thing that they're going to phase that out, because that was one of the big things last year. And I misspoke on that. They're trying to double the Freedom Scholarship. They're trying to decide if it's going to be $35,000 total or $40,000 total. And that is going to be a change, because last year it was like, oh, don't worry, public schools will be held harmless, but then they're going to get rid of that part.
So is the thought there that if they're not giving, and I don't know what the discussion has been, so is the thought there if they're giving less in the TISA funding or whatever, that there's more to go towards these Freedom Scholarships? Is that the reason they're saying the hold harmless? Because that was a huge push last year, or a huge discussion point was that they were going to take money away from public schools and go to private schools, and they said, oh, no, we're not, but then now they say we are. So was there any discussion in that in the committees and such?
I'm unaware of what they said. It has been a moving target, because originally it was going to be income-based and poor-performing schools, and it keeps changing. So the majority, it is suspected, because they did not track it, that the majority of the Freedom Scholarship participants were current private school students that did not change schools. That is one thing they're supposed to be adding to it, is I think where they attended school, if they attended public school previously, but for this school year, they did not track that. So it's hard to say.
Any more discussion on this item? All right, Ms. Childs, thank you as always. You do a very comprehensive job, and we thank you for all the work you put in, because it seems like it has been a very busy season for our legislative agenda.
Yes, and I meant to say it will end very soon, because it's an election year, and that half the Senate is up for a re-election, and all of the House of Representatives. So it'll probably end in the next few weeks, no longer than April.
Okay. All right, and I know you will keep us updated on how they closed out the session, so thank you so much for your work you do. All right, Dr. Horrell.
Great job. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Next item.
Next item is the approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to get this item on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I would like to amend the agenda, or request an amendment to add, I guess, an item number 8 for discussion, possible action on the meeting calendar, on the board meeting calendar. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to amend the agenda. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. So we are back on the amended agenda. Would anybody like to add or take or remove anything from the agenda?
Can I make a request, Madam?
Yes.
Can we remove item 4? I've spoken with the individual that requested that item, and we have a resolution there.
I'll make a motion to remove that item. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. So number 4 is removed. Number 8, I guess, would be 7, so we'll just consider that they all move up, has been added. Any more items that anybody would like to remove or add from the agenda? All right, we're on the amended agenda. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. The agenda is approved. Next item.
Next item is the consent agenda. We have 5 items on the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to get this item on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there anything anybody would like to remove from the consent agenda? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The consent agenda is approved. Next item.
Next item, as we move into the discussion action items, we're going to move from the audit presentation. I will note, the first item is audit presentation. It has been customary for the board to approve the audit, just a simple motion to approve the audit. Or, I'm sorry, accept the audit is the language. Thank you, accept the audit.
I'll make a motion to accept the audit. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on accepting the audit? All right. Yes.
Only
Go ahead.
that to yet again say thank you to Tristan and your team for keeping our finances clean and in order. That is no small feat, as makes the news here in Shelby County with some regularity right now. So thank you for that work.
Thank you on behalf of the board and all the public that's out there, the citizens of Lakeland. Thank you very much. All right. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Dr. Horn, next item.
Next item is a nomination of Volunteer of the Year.
I'll make a motion to get this item on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Dr. Horr, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so this is one of the Tennessee School Boards Association annual awards, and the school board has the opportunity to nominate an individual for Volunteer of the Year, and we also recognize that individual at our annual Volunteer Appreciation Banquet for our SSO leaders, and we solicit nominations for this, and we had some great nominations, but the one that rose to the top this year was an individual that contributes in an outstanding way to the soccer boosters, and her name is Pamela Booter, and I am recommending Ms. Booter to the board to represent Lakeland School System as the TSBA Lakeland School System Volunteer of the Year. And I will note that Ms. Thomas has again agreed to write up the nomination, which she has graciously done the last several years as well.
Any discussion on this item?
I would just like to
Ms.
say, since I am on Soccer Booster, I cannot think of a better person or most deserving person. I've been involved with a lot of different organizations, and I've never seen anybody volunteer just the sheer number of hours that she volunteers, as well as just, being creative with new ways to do things and just being solid for the boosters. So I congratulate her and excited for her.
Any more discussion? All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. And tell Ms. Thomas, and I'm sure you will, thank you for putting that together every year, because it
will.
is
She
no
does a
small.
great
Yes,
job.
go ahead.
Madam Chair, there's just a small concern. Who's going to do that next year?
I don't know. I'm hoping I'm going to phone a friend. I'm going to phone a friend instead.
She does a great job, for sure.
Yes. Maybe she can turn into our Volunteer of the Year.
That's right.
Write her own recommendation.
All right, Dr. Horrell, next item.
Okay, the next item is discussion on program SSO sponsorship parameters.
I'll make a motion to get this item on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Dr. Horrell?
Yes, I should have noted this. This is Keith Acton's item.
Mr. Acton?
Yes, I would like to see a little bit of structure put together on this as far as how will this be, how these sponsorship programs and process be put out to have a set baseline for everybody to use as an expectation. So ultimately what I'm looking for here is just guidance from the board, from the administration to these SSOs, so we can all be on the same page. It feels, I've heard the term, it's a little bit of a free-for-all, and I just want to make sure that from a comptroller standpoint, everything else, we're following guidance and doing everything as we should.
Okay, sorry, go, Ms.
I
Burnett.
say, I agree with Mr. Acton. I think where we tightened up some other policies earlier this year, specifically around renovations and such, I think we can do something similar here and tighten those up, especially as they interact with other policies for the board. And there's a...
Clarify, if I may, this is...
No, I don't hear it.
Yeah, so just to clarify this, I want to make sure that we are working on a plan to make these SSOs a lot of money. That's the main goal here. Funding is important, especially for our organization. Technology issue.
If you're watching the stream, we apologize. We're trying to get Mr. Acton's microphone working.
Is that better?
I think you can hear now. Can you hear him now? I think you
There'll
can.
be a delay.
Yeah.
How about this?
Here, I know the one down here is working. I'm just going to grab it.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, turned red as soon as I touched it.
Thank you. Okay, let's start from,
That's way better.
the beginning. Okay. So the main goal here is obviously to make sure that we are correctly raising a lot of money for our SSOs and have some guidance to provide them so there's not any ambiguity. Obviously, there are certain things the board's put in place for fundraising, and we just want to make sure there's no conflicts that exist. So that is the intent of this discussion.
Any more discussion? Dr. Hoare, how about for our next meeting, can you work with Mr. Acton to make sure that whatever language we're trying to bring before the board, we have a proposal for our next meeting to address any, I guess, baselines or consistency or whatever we're trying to align with, to make sure it aligns with what the comptroller expects, to make sure we've got kind of a level set. Does that sound like, is that okay?
I think that would work, yes.
Okay. All right. So if you'll work with Mr. Acton to try to figure out like which policies, even, I don't know if it might even affect our agreement with, whatever, it might need some language looked at in our agreements with SSOs. I don't know if it's covered in there. It may or may not be. Just all of the things that are all encompassing, especially as we go into like the summertime where we have all the approvals for the SSOs coming up and everything else. It's great time to tighten all this up to make sure it's where it needs to be and everything that we should. Is that okay? All right, so we'll put this on our May agenda and carry this over to our May agenda.
Okay.
All right, next item.
Next item is approval of 26-27 textbook adoption committee recommendations.
I'll make a motion to get this item on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Dr. Hoare?
Yes, I'll note that our Deputy Superintendent, Dr. DeLoso, is here, who with her team of directors of academics have spearheaded this work, and this is something that the board's been aware of. This is an adoption year for a limited number of textbooks, mainly our wellness textbook, computer science, and then STEM. So I think if I can summarize the recommendations that are here, and you'll note in the documentation that is on the agenda that we did have the required teachers that participated, and they've signed off on a notarized form. This is the state process that requires it. And just to remind the board in these cycles, where it is a formal textbook adoption cycle, must adopt a textbook. That we are not required to purchase a textbook necessarily. But what we have, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Loso, she wrote this up for me, but I'm not looking at it at the moment. The wellness textbook we intend to adopt and purchase. The computer science, a very small number of textbooks we intend to adopt and purchase. The STEM textbook, there's only one option. We're going to adopt it, but we actually don't feel it's necessary to purchase at this time in consultation with the STEM teachers. So that is the plan. Is that accurate, Dr. DeLoso? And
That is correct.
we'd have to bring you a mic if you want to.
Yes, all that's correct. And with STEM, we do so much project-based work and use so many different supplies and technology that we've been able to fund through a lot of our grants. And so it's more of a hands-on approach. And so we use those types of materials to meet the standards. Anything that we are adopting is on the state-approved list. Most of these only had one or two choices. There weren't very many choices. So the two that Dr. Orrell mentioned that we are adopting and purchasing, it will be the first time that we're using those particular textbooks. And so for Lifetime Wellness, for example, we'll have a classroom set and a digital copy that also does cover our family life curriculum standards within that book as well. So we feel good about it. The teachers participated, administrators participated, and Ms. Jackson, our high school director of instruction, and Mr. Waddell, Ms. Martin worked together, led the way, and so it was a thorough, strong process.
Any discussion on the textbooks adoption? All right, hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, and thank you to the committee and the teachers and everybody for the work y'all have done. We do appreciate it greatly.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Dr. DeLoso. All right, the next item is the review of the superintendent's evaluation process.
I'll make a motion to get this item on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Do you want me to speak or I'll speak? Do you want to
I can
speak?
just summarize
Okay,
it.
yeah, you can go ahead.
Basically, the superintendent's contract says, this is just a review for the public, says that the board and the superintendent shall agree on an evaluation instrument. We made some fairly substantial revisions to the instrument last year. I'm not requesting any changes to the evaluation instrument, so if it is agreeable to the board, I'd be happy to continue with that instrument this year, and then we would get that in front of the board, and then they would complete, and then actually do the actual summation of the evaluation at a later date. So,
Is there any discussion? Mr. Burnett?
Dr. Rowe, I just thank you again for the work you guys did last year on these edits. I think staying with a consistent product, since there weren't real serious concerns after last year on the instrument, gives us a new baseline. So I support sticking with what we've got.
great.
Any more discussion on this one? Working. Oh, yeah, it's working. I was worried my wasn't. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item.
Next item is review of policy manual section 6. I did talk to Ms. Thomas, who couldn't be here tonight. She said the policy committee did not have any recommendations, but as always, we point out any board member can request that any policy be added to the agenda at any time. But their job is to kind of review certain sections and see if there's anything that they feel needs to come before the board.
Please tell Ms. Thomas and the policy committee, thank you for the work they continue to do. It is not a small task, and I've been there.
You know from experience.
Yes, I know
Yes.
from experience. So
That's right.
continue to pass on our thanks
Will
for
do.
the work they do. All right, next item.
Next item was the added item, the 25-26 board meeting calendar.
All right, I'll make a motion to get this item on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. The reason I asked for this to be put on to the agenda is because the May 4th work session is the night before graduation, so I don't want us to get into a quorum situation again, particularly with families and things and such, since we have, and it's the wrap-up of the sports season, so I think we may have some challenges with getting quorum on that night, so I would like to make a motion to amend the school board meeting dates to cancel the May 4th work session and only keep the May 11th business meeting. So is there a second to that motion?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion regarding changing the board calendar to cancel the May 4th work session? All right, hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. So the Lakeland School Board meeting dates have been amended. All right, is there any announcements? Yes, Ms. Childs.
Thursday night, we're having the first annual Parks and Rec soccer night. And so we're having 2 home soccer games. At 5 o'clock is the JV and 7 o'clock is the varsity. And we have partnered with the city of Lakeland that the players who play Lakeland Parks and Rec can wear their jerseys and come out and meet the JV boys, varsity boys, and JV and varsity girls teams, and get in free with their jersey, and their siblings 10 and under also get in free. So we're just trying to have a more fun event for, I know football had it before, just trying to have the younger players get to meet the older players, and hopefully they'll want to eventually keep with soccer and play on the high school soccer team.
Any further announcements?
Fun.
One thing that I do want to say, by the time we have our next meeting, we will have had a graduating class. And I'm about to cry talking about it, but we will have had a graduating class. So on behalf of the Board of Education, I would like to take this opportunity to say congratulations to the class of 2026. You have done amazing things for Lakeland School System. You have made us whole, and we thank you for sticking with us. And we are so excited to see where you go. So thank you so much. All right, and with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We have a motion. I'll make the second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned.